The video you're about to watch is so crazy that it got me cancelled on my main channel. It was so good in regards to dating that YouTube had to strike me for false reasons. So if you've never heard of me before, my name is Deni Ops. I'm posting on this channel temporarily so I can avoid being silenced by YouTube. My main channel is currently on strike too. For that reason, I will be posting here. However, if you're an OG viewer, enjoy the video. You already know what's about to come. It's going to be incredible. It's going to be crazy. It's going to blow the game. I'm back from the trenches. It's been 14 days since my last upload and I have come up with new killer pickup lines which I'll be showing you in some live texting today. I've also got some other goodies to show you. I'll also be showing you how I got this girl for one of my clients, and I'll be breaking down the text messages on WhatsApp, which of course you can see right here. This is the WhatsApp conversation with her. So obviously that's the girl. If you're new to the channel, this is what I do. I run Tinder accounts and I get incredible results and get you incredible dates. But yeah, so we're going to use some live texting. We're going to mix it in with obviously text messages with this girl where I've gotten a date for one of my guys on Friday with her. So I'll be doing that at the same time simultaneously. So I'm just going to start with this girl here. So this girl she's had a bit of a conversation with me already. This conversation has been going really, really well. So I'll just give you a little bit of a brief breakdown. So obviously, as you can see, is a new pickup line. If you see a girl's not smiling in her pictures, say to her, do you smile in any of your pictures? Boom. As you can see, she's not smiling in any of her pictures, so I said that. Now, obviously, if she's smiling, she has a fucking massive cheeky grin, then yeah, you kind of don't want to say that because you're just gonna look like an autistic retard. But apart from that, no. As long as she's not smiling in any of them pictures and she's got, you know, an RBF or resting bitch face or whatever you want to call it, then yeah, this would work really well. So obviously I said to her, do you smile in any pictures? No, never. And she said, in that case, you take pictures with me with my arms around you. Look at that. I brought back the picture, the me with my arms around you line. So you can still use it, but you just can't use it with the, you know what's missing in pictures. That's kind of fucking outdated, bro. And I have some new lines that are working much better now, which I will be showing you. So yeah. Anyway, she says, no, never. So obviously I said that. And she said, see, then I'd definitely be smiling. Of course she would. Of course she would, you know, because it's just my game, innit? Anyway, then she said, what would make it better? My arms around your waist or neck? And she said, around my neck, then work your way down. So obviously now she's giving the green light. She's like, yeah, you know, you can shove your hand down there or whatever. You know, I'm not going to get too descriptive. We're on YouTube, of course, guys. We're not on, you know, a barrel. But nah, anyways. I said to, if I go too far down, you might end up keeping me there. So obviously I don't want to get too crazy with it. I don't want to be like, oh yeah, I'm going to finger you, baby, or anything like that too soon. Because I don't know if this girl is comfortable with that. I don't know if this girl is going to cry and, you know, say, oh, I don't want sex. You know, you're trying to use me. Yeah, no one wants to hear that. That's just annoying. So, yeah. Obviously, I kept it slow. And I said, if I go too far down, you might end up keeping me there. So obviously, I'm matching her energy. And she went, what's wrong with that? So obviously, now it's getting better and better. She's obviously giving me the green light to progress even further ahead, and she's like, yeah, what's wrong with that then? And of course, yeah, what is wrong with that? Nothing, apart from the fact that you're going to get used and thrown to the wayside. I'm joking, guys. You should treat women with respect. Anyway, so then I said, because then I'm out to pick you up and look in your eyes while I kiss you. Very romantic, very, you know, fairy tale, very, you know, it's keeping it safe. It's not going too far. And then she went, I think you should definitely do that. And then obviously this is when I changed the pace. I'm like, then I'll lead into mystery and play with your hair and push on your stomach. So just some crazy sex talk, obviously. Now we're getting into the fun stuff. And then as you can see, now she's, you know, thrown her long term out of the window. And she's saying then it leads you into flipping me over and putting me in doggy while pulling my hair and slapping my ass. So as you can see here, that long term has gone out of the window. She's not in for the long term. She's in for the short term. And then obviously I tell her some bullshit about putting all 8 inches of her in doggy to make sure she feels every inch. You know, just selling her the dream, innit? You know, like, there's only a few guys that probably actually have an 8-inch cock in the world. And if you do have one, congratulations. So, yeah. And bear in mind, this isn't my account. This is one of my clients, of course. So, yeah. And then I just sell her the dream even more. I'm not going to get too descriptive with that because I don't want to obviously get banned on YouTube. That would not be good. Anyway, so she's saying I'll be left moaning, mass, screaming your name, and then I'll leave hickeys all over you so people know your name. Obviously, a lot of girls say they'll leave hickeys, but if you really want to get them going, tell them to leave scratch marks in your back and leave it bleeding, bro. If you can tell a girl's a psycho chick like this one, you know, because she's clearly just switched up and she started, you know, going full fucking whore mode 304, you know, switch up, start saying crazy shit like, yeah, scratch your name to my back, baby, like I have here. So yeah, that's a really good move you can do right there. It drives them crazy. They love that. That shows commitment. Obviously, there is no commitment here. So yeah. Now, everyone who lives there will know. I'll leave my mark all over you so you know the girl touches my man. Okay, he's definitely, you know, talking to 400,000 girls probably on this Tinder account. You know, let's just quickly go through his likes. Yeah, he's got quite a few likes, 99 plus. That's just the standard of working with me, of course. And just to let you know, the matches are not ugly. I'll be going through all of them anyway. So yeah, so she said you best stay away. I'm gonna try to avoid swearing, even though I swore quite a few times already. I'll try to keep it low key. And she said, "Oh, I can take anything." And then she went, "I wouldn't dream of it. Don't want you mad at me. Can you not? Can you now? What about your head game? Blah blah blah." So obviously I'm getting a head game. And then she said, "I've been told it's very good and tight." So her mouth is very tight. Then okay, no, she's just autistic, bro. I'm not gonna lie. She probably just didn't understand what I was saying. Anyway, then I said to her, I want my cock or bruise from being inside you, and make sure it only fits inside you. So all of this shit is just really extreme kind of sex, right? Like a lot of guys that are not experienced in the bedroom are probably thinking, is this even normal? Yeah, bro, if you're with the right girl, you could seriously do some crazy shit that I will not be explaining on YouTube because I don't want to die. Anyway, I said to her, I wouldn't make you mad. I'll just take your ability to walk away or give you princess treatment. So obviously, I am balancing it out because if you go too sexual, unfortunately, they're going to start thinking all you're in it for is sex. Obviously, I wanted to make sure I play it safe here. And then I said, I'll give you princess treatment. And the funny thing is, she actually didn't care about the princess treatment. She just wants to have sex. So as you can see, this is the strategy, this is the new way, this is the new meta. I'm not reading that because I don't want to die. And then she obviously said something about licking fingers clean. You can already know what that means. You can read the chat. I'm not saying that out loud. And then, as we can see, this is the present moment in the conversation. So let's talk about a reply for her. All right, so the reply I'm going to do here is I'm going to get a phone number and close her because a lot of you guys are saying, oh, you're talking to these girls for too long, Deni. The whole point of that is obviously because I want to get content, but today I'm going to show you that you can get numbers quickly as well. So let's do that straight away. So obviously said, I'm not a pillow person. I already for so long make you feel amazing. I don't want to feel amazing. I want to feel drained and empty from you being on top. Yeah, better keep going too. What's your number, Ella? Boom. And as you can see, we will continue with this girl once she sends her number, and we're gonna go straight over to Nina. Actually, this is what this girl is saying. Okay, so in this scenario, I said to this girl, I can't decide if I want to pet you or your dog. I'm gonna put that up so I don't have to blur her number. I'm too lazy to blur her number. Anyway, so she said, I can't decide if I want to pet you or your dog. I said, I think I'll be good with you. Head pats only for good girls. I think I deserve them. So obviously she's already sexualizing herself already. Girls that have a dog, I think you can get away with saying, I can't decide if I want to pet you or your dog. It's a pretty good line. I'll be honest with you, it works really well. I've said it to quite a few girls with dogs and they love it. If you appreciate a girl that has if you appreciate a girl's dog, they love it, bro. Nothing better than that. So in that case, this is what I'm going to say to her. Oh yeah? How are you a good girl then? How's heavy game looking? We're gonna get a bit more fucking, what's the word called I'm looking for? We're gonna get a bit more direct with this one just to show you the approach of being direct. It's a little bit more risky, but obviously if she does reply to this really well, which I believe she will, then it could be huge. In that case, let's move on to the next part of the video. So while that obviously Tinder account cooks and obviously gets some numbers and some likes and matches, as you can see, obviously I'm tabbing in and out, so you can see there. So yeah, obviously when that gets one, I'll let you guys know. But let's continue with this girl because obviously these text messages are guaranteed, and you guys obviously need help at texting outside of Tinder because these days everyone can get a number according to my comments, and if they can, good for you. I'm glad that this worked for you. But let's talk about how you can get pictures like this off girls, obviously off of Tinder. So these are the pictures of the girl. I don't know why she's doing that face. It's probably some looks maxing garbage. I don't know, some that music that goes, what is it called? I forgot. Let me play this. Like, bro, this is what it reminds me of. Like, this is what I saw, bro. She's just walking, isn't it? Like, it's just silly. I don't know, man. I don't know. Maybe I'm just being a dickhead, but I'm not gonna lie. Someone that does that in every picture is just crazy to me. There's nothing wrong with it. She doesn't look bad, bro. She doesn't look ugly, bro, but it's just like a bit too much. Anyways. At the top, she says, NGO, don't know how to make rice because one of the prompts was, what is it? I can make a minute of rice in 58 seconds. I'm not going to get into that because that's another topic in itself. That'll be a video based on prompts. But yeah, just if you obviously want to copy the prompt, there you go. So there's some context for you. And then she said, NGO, I'll make rice to you, but I would burn it because I'll be distracted staring at you. So, just a bit of like, magical, dreamy, stuff, blah, blah, blah. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. But yeah, it would be like a magical blah, blah, blah. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just like garbage, if you burn your food because you're with a hot girl, bro, you're crazy, man. Like, have some balls, have some self-respect in it. Like, imagine being distracted from your goals or your purpose because, you're with a girl. I know the kitchen is not that deep, bro, but obviously don't burn your food, bro. Don't burn your house down. Anyway, so I said rice. She said rice, salmon, sweet chili sauce wouldn't go a miss right now or whatever. And then she said Uncle Ben's. Okay, Uncle Ben's is the most basic thing ever, man. It shows me that you don't know how to cook food, and it shows me that you're underskilled. This girl is clearly not good at being a wifey girl. Too bad for her that obviously she ended up not being a long-term partner for this guy, and she was just a short-term fling. So yeah, obviously, you know, someone saying they have the only ability to cook Uncle Ben's shows me they're a loser. No, I'm kidding. If you don't know how to cook, that's fine, whatever, but seriously, invest your time into learning how to cook. Anyways, move on. She said, I like to make it from scratch, more tailored to your taste. And then she went, stop it. I'm actually blushing. I'll do the washing up. Good back tickles as well. So, of course, you know, she's getting a little bit flirty. She's getting a little bit, you know, bit too much, which is good. You want that. But it's just funny because obviously she's cracking. You know, she's clearly giving in. Now she went, I could do that. What did I say before that? What did I say to her? I kept it out. I don't know why. Oh well. Anyway, so that says can or want to. Sounds like I'm forcing you to. Okay, so I probably said something along the lines of a pickup line here. And she said, you're not forcing to, I want to, and you could do some things for me. And I said, such as, I'm curious, manhandling, let's say. Yeah, see, so this is what I mean, man. Like, these girls, bro, you know, they are all whores to their core, but they're not going to admit it outright. Like, you know, like, why did she say manhandling? You know, like, just say that you got to get fucked and used. Like, it's crazy to me. But obviously, just play the game. You know, don't be an insult. Don't be a loser and obviously be like, oh, you're a whore deep down. Just, you know, enjoy it, you know, embrace the fact they're a whore and, you know, play into it as I am, as you can see right here. So I said, go into detail, I'm intrigued. Obviously, this is what her response was. I enjoy sub-brat dom. I like things like rough choking, a little bit of forcing, pinned, and being told what to do, but love affection. So a mixture. What about yourself? What a broken and damaged girl. Seriously, that is pretty wild. So that sounds like detachment issues, and obviously I'm not going to spoil anything, but I was actually right on the nail. I hit the nail on the head. You'll see as we go later on. Anyway, she said, I'm into caring dom, so showing love, but also leading and dominating, pinning you against the wall. That's what I'm saying, by the way, to this girl. Bear in mind, it's not my account. And she said, love praise, so definitely will try to please you. I'll say no from time to time just to see your reaction. This is what I'm saying, bro. These girls love to be disobedient, but they also want to be punished for it. Like, this is just the system. And that's why I tell you guys, you know, you should do a reward and punish system with girls when you manipulate them. It works really well. Now, I'm not going to go too much into the detail of the text. You can read it yourself. But as you can see, she's talking about how she enjoys, obviously, things when she's a bit more familiar. I talked about collars and a few toys. And then, obviously, she said, you're the dom, you decide. And then I pulled out the big no. This is something you can say to girls. They love it. But obviously, I'm not going to say this out loud on YouTube, so I'll let you read what I said there. And then she said, I enjoy CNC, which is a nice way of putting it, but only in a sense of struggling in the fighting part of being pinned down. That's crazy, man. This is what I'm saying. She wants to be pinned down to recreate a scenario that most girls have trauma and fear of. And I'm telling you now, a lot of girls love it. Seriously, they love it. They want to be pinned down, okay? You guys don't believe me, but there's your proof. And this is probably one of the first girls that I've this is not one of the only girls, sorry, that has asked for this. This is, you know, this is something that is asked on a daily basis. Now, obviously, she's saying love riding or doggy, blah, blah, blah. Cool, whatever, you know, just basic stuff. She said, I have a nice ass, don't worry. A girl still needs to come, hence I love riding. Sure, there's no disappointment. She said, I'm very tight ATM. I was like, ATM, what do you mean by at the moment? Like, how can you be tight at the moment? So I was like, what do you mean? So I need to see proof of us. I'll tear through. This was obviously to precede the notion of her sending pictures to me earlier on. So that was the idea behind that. And with riding, I love that, especially when I'm pushing up into you. So obviously, you know, I'm just telling her what I tell every other girl that they really want to hear. And she's like, no, I've always been tight, blah, blah, blah. So yeah. And then obviously I said more deep penetration. So sounds like heaven. Here's my proposition. We go for a drink and go from there. You know, it's just all a bunch of blah, 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 you know. And she sends a phone number, obviously, which will take us into the next. Oh, and just I forgot another thing to mention. A lot of you guys also thought that asking for the number is never a good idea. This is just to prove to you that asking for the phone number is the best thing you can do, especially with older women. So obviously I said to her, I've got to keep it traditional. Snap is for 16-year-olds. I violated, obviously, Snapchat in that sense. And she ended up saying, yeah, Snapchat gives me the ick. Which it should. Snapchat is also not good because the girl will end up probably ghosting you because she's talking to 100 other dudes there. Be different. Get a phone number. Anyway, so here's how we start it. So obviously we went, what am I saving your contact as? Blah, blah, blah. You know the draw. Obviously I was saying our future wifey. Now here's the new trick. The new trick is potential wife for now, let's keep it as that. And then I sent her a picture that is obviously something like a first trap. So this could be you shirtless at the gym, a picture of, you know, your side profile. If you have a good side profile, it could be a picture of, you know, if you have a nice haircut, the back of your hair. So obviously, you know, I know a guy that has like wavy hair or something. So yeah, just like some sort of picture that is sexually appealing. So yeah, that's kind of the vibe you're going for. I'm not going to show you the guy's picture because he asked me not to. Anyway, so she said, very hot, can't wait to bite you, much prefer the glasses though. So obviously she prefers a nerdy look. And just to give you a bit of context of what I sent here is just a picture of the guy shirtless at the gym, literally. That's it. You could even see his face. It was literally purely his body. So yeah, anyway, so I also sent her a dick pic, not my dick pic, my client's. My client said that he doesn't mind. The funny thing is, the guy is not actually 9 or 10 inches. She's just an idiot. She doesn't know how to count. So, you know. Sorry, I just took a sip of my drink there. But yeah, most girls are idiots, bro. I'm not joking. You know, the picture I sent her is literally like nowhere near 9 or 10 inches. If that guy was there, bro, he would be a world record breaker. He would not probably be here. You know, he would probably be on the hub. Anyway. So yeah, very big. Look forward to riding it. Also in work, so respond after work. What would you like to be called? So in this case, most idiots would think, you know, I want to be called by my name. No, dumbass. She's asking him in a kinky or casual sense. So obviously now you're going to give her some kinky names. And obviously I said, biggest you've taken, you seem seasoned. So that's just a nice, polite way of putting it as, you have a high body count. You're a fucking whore, mate. What's your body count? Now, with that obviously in mind, I just want you to know that when you say that to a girl, it makes them very comfortable to reveal their body count. So obviously if you ever want to figure out what a girl's body count is, just say to her, I like a girl with experience, you seem very seasoned. Then obviously build up from that, as you can see here. So I said to Sir Daddy Master, for obviously these are just names that girls like calling. I know it's very cringe, but girls love it. So there you go. In that sense. So yeah, Sir Daddy Master, blah blah blah. Say that to her. That works really well. Also, by the way, guys, I just got a phone number. As you can see, there's the number. So let me refresh that for you guys as well really quickly. I've done this countless times. And I'm going to actually take her to WhatsApp as well, by the way. So you can see the WhatsApp conversation. But there's the phone number for you guys. So yeah. And there's another girl. I got her phone number as well. There it is. So yeah. As you can see, that's gone really well as well. I've got her on WhatsApp, so I'll be showing you how that's going. But yeah, so yeah, I've got a few girls that I'm talking to here, and that's obviously me. So obviously I'm managing his WhatsApp account for him. But yeah, that's how that's going. It's going pretty well, so yeah. Oh yeah, this is also that Ches girl I'm talking to. So obviously you can see here, this is what she looks like. So if you think she's chopped, you can tell me down below in the comments. I'm giving her a 6.5. Comment down below what you want to rate her out of 10. It'll be cool to see. I'll say, you know, she's a good looking blonde girl. She's not crazy. She's not over the top, you know. She seems like she's alright. You can read her bio there. I'll try not to leak my client's pictures because that's not a good thing to do. Anyway, as you can see here, yeah, I would say she has a nice body. Very petite, very small, very nimble, very cute in my opinion. I think it works really well. So yeah, that's that girl there. So solid 6.5. Let me know what you guys think and we'll go from there. So yeah. Anyways, I've just texted that Ella girl. I said to her, so what am I saving your contact as? Sam, blah, blah, blah. So that's that. That's going pretty well, as you can see here. That's the other girl. That's obviously her phone number. So yeah, that's going good. Yeah, why does she have the same pictures on WhatsApp as her Tinder? I don't know why girls do that. Anyways, texted you on WhatsApp. Just gonna give her a reminder. Texted you on WhatsApp. Boom. Okay. So yeah, back to Nina. Anyways, in this context, obviously she's saying, yeah, that's the biggest I'll take her, blah, blah, previous relationship, exploitative kink. And then I hit her with the big question, what's your body count? So obviously with the pre-seasoning of saying I like experienced girls, she felt comfortable to say her actual body count. His body count, obviously I told her the body count is 50 plus because she wanted a season plus guy, so obviously I just told her the truth. Obviously if the girl is a bit more innocent, more, how do I word it? You know, a bit more religious, down to earth. Yeah, high body count, you don't want to tell them that. But if a girl's like, oh, I want a dominant guy that can manhandle me and throw me around and do things that are borderline illegal, but obviously it's okay because, you know, I'm crazy or something, you know what I'm referring to, the CNC. Yeah, so in that sense, I want you to understand that you should tell a girl that you have a high body count because she appreciates the experience. So yeah, so I said to her, he said, I like long-term stuff. Hate one-night stands, but it's more enjoyable when it's just one person. I really experienced that with Speed Very Tame. That's hilarious. I'm telling you now. Oh my goodness. You know, the way she's talking, it sounds like she has sex with a different guy every night. This is what I mean. The way you come off and portray yourself, the way you act about yourself just shows to me as a whole that you are a 304, unfortunately. the fact she's talking about her sex positions and sending all of this wild shit, the fact that she wants to be, forced into sex, let's just say that, with obviously consent, which is really weird. It's a kink girls are into, I understand it. I've obviously been a part of it. I've done it, but it's just really weird to think about. And obviously, when girls are into that, usually they're very broken. And as you will see in this texting scenario, she is quite broken. I must. And then she said, "I'm gonna count 5 more exams. I'll be qualified." And then obviously, I told her a bullshit scenario of him owning a few bars. So obviously, if you want a long-term relationship with a girl, don't lie to her. Tell her the truth. I'm not an advocate for lying. I don't think lying is good. However, if you are going to have a one-night stand, absolutely lie your balls off, man. Like, what's the worst that's going to happen? Once you, cream inside her, who cares? Oh, he lied to me. Well, guess what? You already got fucked. So it doesn't matter. Anyways, obviously, I gave her a little bit of a long conversation here. I told her to help me avoid text, dodge text, because she's an accountant, just being, what's it called? Flirty or wordy, whatever you want to call it. It's just a bunch of happy talk. It's not real. So obviously she's asking, should I ask for permission? Keep it wild, guys. With a crazy girl like this, tell her don't ask for permission. Anyway, so I asked her for a picture of her in her work fit, and that's what she sent. So obviously I asked for a work fit, very innocent picture. I'm trying to keep the conversation traditional, guys. And then she's sending you saying, do you have any kinks? Do you have any kinks? Like, bro, try to keep your self-respect to somewhat, be present, right? Like, that's just diabolical, man. Come on. And I'm telling you now, girls act like this all the time. Seriously. Try and make the conversation traditional, and she's like, trying to make it sexual. That shows to you that this stuff works. I don't even want it to be sexual. Like, I was trying to just focus on making it traditional. So obviously I could avoid, messing up here, because, I want to get the result. That's all that matters to me. I didn't care about this being content. This just conveniently ended up being content because I'm good at my job. Anyways, so she said, so what do you get more satisfaction from? Control, degrading, blah, blah, blah. So obviously, in that sense, I said controlling, teasing, being playful about you. The thing is, degrading for a girl depends on the type of girl you're talking to. This girl, I could just tell she's not into degrading. I could just smell it. And in that sense, I can change my reply and obviously tailor it to her. And I described a vividly, very, very imaginative sexual scenario there. I'm not going to go too much into detail, but you can look at her response to gauge what I may have said. But I'll read out what she said. I want you to force my birth control down my throat and then fuck me. Might have to spit it out though. Yeah, I just want you to, visualize what I may have said for her to say that. I'm not going to show you on YouTube because I don't want to die. But seriously, the stuff she's saying is crazy. Just crazy words. Anyway, so she said that sounds perfect. No hate, I like it. Affection and touch, blah, blah, blah. So love language, afterwards, back tickles and massages. And she said there won't be anything explicit. Not a fan of sending that until we've met. You'll see shortly she's going to send some explicit stuff, guys. They always say this. Just give her the comfort. Say, that's fine. I don't want to say anything like that anyway, saving the surprise. You just want to tell them what they want to hear. And they always end up sending some explicit pictures. And then I said, actually, a baddie, obviously. I gave her a little bit of validation. It's okay. I'm not a Red Pill guru. I'm not like, guys, don't validate her. A little bit of validation is okay, especially considering she sent pictures. I want to condition her. So that's good. That's okay. And I will say she doesn't look too bad, I'll be honest with you. She hasn't got the best body, I will say. She's quite built like an iron board. But her face is actually pretty good, I will say, And then obviously next Friday, hair and makeup will be done and the pretty dress will be worn. So yeah, I said to her, what would that look like? And then obviously these are the pictures, obviously from those 4 pictures. I want to show you that. So yeah, that sound effect, I'm not going to play it again because I don't want to be annoying. But the one that goes bye-bye, like, why is she muting in every picture, man? Seriously, even in this one, I'm telling you, man, it doesn't look bad. It doesn't look ugly. It's just whack. Do you know what I mean? So anyway, so obviously next Friday, hair and makeup will be done, blah, blah, pretty dress will be worn. I'm not going to I said to her, can you show me a picture of you with makeup? And by the way, one of the girls just responded on WhatsApp. So here, why are you using a WhatsApp US number? That's because the client I'm working with is currently in the UK traveling. I'm just going to tell her that he moved recently to the UK because if I tell her he's traveling, she's going to assume that he's there for a one-night stand. I moved to the UK recently, so you might need to show me around. Also, I was thinking of saving you as future wifey, unless you're not wifey. Oh yeah, that's another cool thing that you can do with your girls as well. By the way, unless you're not wifey. If a girl, obviously, you text her with a foreign number, it's gonna always throw her off game. It's gonna make her think, whoa, what's going on here? And she's gonna question whether you're an exotic person or not, which is what you want. So yeah. Anyway, in that sense, use that tip how you want. If you can get hold of an international number, do it. This guy didn't do that. He is actually from the USA. He's just obviously in the UK traveling, and he's looking to clock some UK girls. So yeah. Anyways, moving on back to the scenario we have here. Anyway, so yeah. She said, I'm excited for next week. I can't wait to be on my knees looking up at you. Blah, blah, blah. I could tell you're horny. And then she went, who said anything about sex? Just blah, blah, blah. Just, it's quite funny. It's quite funny. She's like, who said anything about sex? Yeah, as if you weren't describing how you want to get pinned down and absolutely just rammed. Like, seriously. Now she said, honestly, I don't know what you mean. Just wanted to say that because obviously I went, what are you implying? Like, you said it, not me. And she said, so like, honestly, I don't blah, blah, blah. And I was like, her playing the innocent card, Miss Innocent card. Just flirting back and forth, not being an insult. And then I said, you need to bring your slutty side out, forget the mono side. She went, no, she's in the back corner, get her out, otherwise I will make her. And she's like, oh, I would love that. So, she loves the fact that I'm drawing that out from her by force. It's, just what she wants to see. It's her wet dream. Anyway, so I sent her some more pictures, obviously. And as you can see here, she responded with some pictures. And we talked about, just a few things here or there. Talked about her cup size. There's a video of her. There's some pictures of her. So I thought you were keeping PG. And then she proceeds to send nudes, which I will not be showing here because I'm a family-friendly YouTube channel, as you can see. So yeah, so she went, it's a cheeky holiday pic. The point is, in the picture, you're showing yourself half naked. It doesn't matter. And the fact that you sent your videos of you putting your hand obviously down there is not an excuse. I thought you said you don't send things like that, Nina. What have you done? You lied. No. I'm kidding. But the truth is, guys, you can break any rule that girl may place in front of you, and I hope this goes to show that you can do that. Anyway, so obviously I just started talking about, how the guy being 9 inches might hurt her. Again, not 9 inches, it's all just bull crap, bro. But obviously now she's saying, oh, you're trying to back out, blah, blah, blah. Obviously scaring her, making her think the guy's not going to see her now. This is a really good tactic to do after she sends nudes, because when she sends nudes, you can play the game very well, very powerful. And one of the girls just replied on WhatsApp, so there's a conversation so far with her. So I said that, blah, blah, blah. I sent her first trap. I made it view only once because of you guys. I don't want to show the guy's face. Obviously, that's not nice because he asked me not to. But in that sense, I said that depends if you're a good girl, X. And I'm not going to save her as future wifey. If you actually save a girl as future wifey, you're an idiot. Just save her as a name. Oh, she's opened the message. Let's see what she says, guys. This is obviously going to be proof of concept that first trap's a king. So actually, I did caption the first trap. I forgot to mention. Save my contact picture as this. So let's see what she says. She's going to reply literally right now. So she said, I can't save that. Okay, fine. Fine. I'll send it to her in chat. Okay. So I just sent her the first trap. Obviously, you guys can't see it because I got rid of it. So she said, let me get one for you. So let's see what this girl says, bro. I hope she doesn't send anything that's not PG friendly because I don't wanna deal with that. That's not the right timing. Send it when I'm actually not recording. But yeah, so as you can see, she did actually receive the picture. Otherwise, she would not be saying that because I said to her, how about now? I'm going to need a contact picture for you. Okay, that's actually not that bad. And I'm not going to lie. I think she's a catfish, bro. What is that? How did she looked quite good, bro, before. I'm not going to lie. She kind of looks fat, bro. Let me say to her, going to need one similar to mine. We got a match. And B twinsies. So yeah, I sent her like I showed this picture at the gym. That was pretty good. But yeah, that's kind of vexed me. I'm not gonna lie, because her Tinder pictures were actually really good. But obviously, I've been scammed. Like, look at this. What is this? What is this? What's happened? Have I been scammed? Guys, this is why you need to be careful. You can get scammed. What the fuck? What is this? Why am I talking to a hippopotamus? What? What's happened? Did she gain weight? I'm confused. I've been scammed. I've been bamboozled. How did she go from this to this? Like, I've been scammed. No! She's actually chopped. It's got to be a bad picture, guys. It's got to be a bad picture. She'll send some more. Watch, I'll make her. I'm good at doing that. Anyways, so yeah, be careful of girls looking ugly. Anyways, so obviously back to Nina. You know, just keep it entertaining. Let's talk about obviously just what's going on here. So I said to her some bullshit about a girl being hurt really badly post-sex, blah blah. Obviously, all lies, not true. All of this is just garbage to basically just make her believe. And she said, if you no longer want to meet, don't worry, you can leave it, blah blah. I really want to see you next week. Go for a drink. You know, definitely just go for a drink. She's gonna get clotted as she did on Friday, and I went. We can make sure. I just don't want you to get hurt. You know, I'm just telling her things she wants to hear. If I'm being honest with you, if you care about a girl's well-being during the actual action of sex, you're stupid. The only thing you should care about in that moment is your pleasure, because that's what she wants you to believe. That's what she is trying to do. If she's submissive, obviously, if a girl is dominant, she's different. Now, aftercare, do give good aftercare with a girl. Aftercare does matter. I'm not saying be an incel, obviously, and have, you know, hardcore sex and then throw her away. What I am saying is, in the moment of sex, try to be dominant, because that's really important. It's really attractive. She's just saying a bunch of conversation, innit? Like, you know, me reading this will not help you. There isn't psychology to analyze. There isn't any, magical psychology. What she's saying is just general conversation. I think a lot of you guys forget girls are actual human beings and people as well. As long as you don't say anything that's going to embarrass you or make you look like an idiot, you'll be fine. Like, literally, this is just conversation at this point. So all I'm doing is just telling what she wants to hear. That's probably the best I can say in terms of psychology. There isn't, you know, too much understanding at this stage of the game. If you're struggling with the stage of the game, either you're not empathetic enough, you're not a human being, or you're a sociopath, or you're a loser and you don't talk to people. Literally, all it takes at this stage is to talk to the person like a human being and tell them what they want to hear. So yeah, she said, you're going to love it when I'm more moaning your name, blah, 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 you know, just all of this crazy stuff. And then obviously I sent her a picture of the guy's car. The guy had, a Mercedes CLA 180, blah, blah, very old, for like 15, 20k with ambient lighting. And obviously he had some lights or whatever. I don't know, some ambient lighting. It was a 20k car. So I can't drive it because I failed. A woman can't drive. Guys, I'm so funny. I'm joking. Please don't cancel me. Anyway, so she went, you can try it. It would be nice. Challenge. Obviously, I said you can sit on that while driving. You know, what I'm doing is I'm having a normal conversation while flirting with her at the same time. And I think a lot of guys, where they go wrong is they either go too bland with the conversation or they flirt too much. You want to have a good mix and a balance of both, okay? You want to have a good balance and mix of both. Because that way, it keeps conversation interesting, it keeps it interesting, it keeps everything going. Anyway, so obviously she was like being caring as well, keeping it serious. Excuse me. I've had some too much to drink. Not alcohol, don't worry. I'm not going to record a video drunk. That would be stupid. Actually, it might be funny. Anyway, so for a short drive, potentially, don't want you to crash, blah, blah. She's being serious. And that's why it's important to not be, you know, too over the top, but also to keep it serious as well. So obviously, like I said, flirt with her and, you know, also keep it serious. And in this scenario, here's another funny thing that a lot of you guys don't believe. I pulled this guy, a girl that's 2 years older than her. So there you go. She says she's cool with it as long as you're not immature. And you know what's funny? I said to her, I am a goofball and I am mature. And she went, I'm a big goofball, might have to whip me into it. The fact she just said she doesn't want an immature guy, and I said to her, well, unfortunately for you, I am immature. She went, that's fine, I'm immature as well. This is what I'm saying. They contradict themselves. None of what they're saying is actually true. It's not real. It's lies. It's all bullshit. And if you tell them what they want to hear, then you're going to get pussy. Honestly, it's as simple as that. It doesn't get any simple. And she's like, can't wait to figure out, integrate. You know, at least she's admitting that she would do that. Most girls don't admit they want to figure out. Most girls love to figure you out, integrate with you. And then they like to break you down, and then they want to fuck you over. That's how girls work. They're meant to make you mellow. They're meant to make you soft. That's just in their nature. The thing is, the wrong girl that does that to you will fuck you up. If your wife does that to you, she's just going to make you soft and a better loving man. So yeah, anyways, no insult shit. I'm not going to say, you know, oh, women are evil, blah, blah, blah. You know, they are narcissistic, but at the end of the day, that's just their nature, isn't it? So yeah. Oh, we'll respond to this Chaz girl as well, and we do have a Tinder conversation to reply to, so we'll go with that. But let's respond to this Chaz girl first. So obviously, this girl, we're talking about 4 boys, 1 girl. By the way, this conversation has been going on for a long time, just for a bit of context. They've actually been on a date, so it's whatever. Anyways, so obviously now I'm acting more caring, not very, you know, the case, and she said you don't really have to, blah, 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 to paying. The guy's gonna buy a fuck all. It's just, you know, you want to tell her what she hears. So obviously that's that, and then we'll move on to that. So this girl above, obviously, we'll take care of Chloe later. But yeah, so for this girl, she said it'd be cute pic, but what's cute to me? Both can definitely be done. Of course, a princess gets what she wants. I'll let you decide. So this is a new one. Obviously, before the classic pickup line was including us saying something like, you know, arms around your waist and neck, you know, that stuff. I've decided to incorporate putting the hands on bra because a lot of girls propose that themselves, not me. A lot of girls said that, and I thought, you know, a lot of girls are saying this. Why? And I decided to take it upon myself to actually use that with girls as well. So that's been going really, really well. We'll go back to that Chloe girl later. I want to focus on Nina because she's more important than obviously that. You'll learn a lot more from this than you will from there. Anyway, so moving on. So she's saying integration, blah blah blah, got a bunch of just bollocks, bro, honestly. And she's like, oh, I did a lot of drugs. Of course you did. Like I said, you know, mentally broken girl. And she said, I'm only dominant because people aren't. I assumed she was dominant, and I was confused because she's a high achiever. She's very successful for a girl. I'll be honest with you, accountant. You know, she lives on her own. Her parents abandoned her. She's done pretty well, I will say. But obviously, unfortunately, the poor thing is, you know, broken as a girl, you know, from doing drugs. Like, I'm not going to sit there and tell you what to do with your life, but drugs is not a good thing. The point is, look at her, she's broken. Her parents abandoned her. So obviously, I said to her, I'm anti-drugs, blah, 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 because the client is actually anti-drugs. That pissed him off a lot. He was like, I don't want to date a girl that's on drugs. And I was like, not a problem. And he was like, you know what, this girl does look alright. I want to take her on. She seems like a sweetheart. I was like, not a problem. And she starts talking about religion. Like, why the fuck are we on about religion? How did we go from talking about sex to religion? This is what I mean. It's devious. So, anyways, yeah. So, as I said, happily waking up with a blowjob, blah, 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 every morning. This is where it gets fun again. The girl on Tinder applied again. Let's answer. So, she said, I keep the bra one for my own use. I'm going to say something risky to her. So, obviously, this is what the girl looks like. I would say she's, you know, your typical UK girl, nothing special. Oh, boy. Okay, we'll continue with this girl. We'll pause on Nina for now. So I'm sure you can help me with a lot. So we'll say that to her. She might end up replying in the next few seconds. I don't know. But back to Nina anyway. So yeah, you guys read that. I'm not going to go through that. And she went, here's to a fun future adventure, talking about religion. You know, that's crazy. Imagine talking about God, but then talking about getting rammed. Like, it's just crazy, man. That's that. Sent her a voice note. Well, my client did. And then she went, very heart weary based. Love it when you call me a good girl. The guy said something about being a good girl in the voice note. And obviously, you know, it was his morning voice. He put a deep voice on, blah, blah, blah. And then obviously we kind of ignored her. See, the guy was working in it, so obviously he didn't reply. So she sent a call by accident, which was definitely not an accident. But is she sent another indecent? I wouldn't say this is that indecent, to be fair, but this is where I was like, you know, she's kind of built like an iron board, in it. You know, she doesn't have all that. Like, her face is nice, but she's kind of built like an iron board. She sent a video of her, you know, fingering herself, crazy stuff. Anyways, so I said, are you trying to make you see blah 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 blah. Obviously, yeah, it's better in person. Not clingy, grip of yourself. Bro, she's one of the most clingiest girls I've spoken to. God me, fuck me, man. She's so annoying. She wouldn't shut the fuck up, bro. I had to talk to her for so long. There's a reason why people get this shit outsourced, dude. Seriously. Some girls can be annoying, man. So, yeah. In that sense, she's like, I'll text you, and realize I said too much, and then track back to protect myself. So, you guys, I didn't lie to you. I told you the truth. Girls literally said, I will track back to protect myself. So, they regret what they say, and then they backtrack. By the way, that girl actually replied as well on Tinder. So she went, why is that? So yeah, that's that. Back to Nina. Anyways, as I was saying, you know, girls like this, they're sweethearts because they actually do have a good understanding. Anyway, she said, I'm naturally a very nervous and clingy person until I meet them in person. Great at reading body language, but over text it's a lot harder. Don't want to be seen as too clingy, blah, blah, blah. So yeah, just a bunch of bullshit. She didn't read any body language, dude. You know, you got used and now you're in a rotation. So yeah. So yeah, obviously, in this scenario, she's talking about doggy riding. Anyways, you guys like this, so I'm gonna show it to you regardless. So yeah, so obviously you can copy what I'm saying here, and we just got a response on Tinder. So let's go back to Tinder, as you can see here. And say as long as you like. I'd rather say making out because that's keeping it low key. So yeah. This is where things got a bit creepy. I just fucking realized what this screenshot says. So, and once things get more established, you can come and meet and I'll be your possession and extension of you. Bro, what is this voodoo shit, bro? I don't know, you know, what she means by that. That sounds like crazy talk to me. When girls usually do say that, they are very freaky and they are very good at sex, but it's kind of weird. You know, like, I hope you don't possess my soul or whatever. But yeah, anyways, that was really weird. Anyways, so... She said, you're going to have to train me, be patient with me, blah, blah, blah. He said, I'll happily spend hours on my knees. You can ignore me, watch porn, whatever you want while I'm giving you head. That's she could get what you want out of me. You know, it's just silly conversation. And she went, so when you went to free, try cocktails and calm, ultimate princess treatment. She said, that's good, yeah, and blah, blah, blah. Just obviously was setting the date up. And yeah, so the date was set for Friday. And that's exactly what happened. And the date is going really well. So, well, it did go well in that sense. But that's the end of that conversation. So let me know what you guys think of that. They ended up going on the date. They ended up having sex. They ended up doing whatever they need to. Now she's on rotation. Tinder. So yeah, so she said, I'd be disappointed if you didn't. So now I'm getting a bit more extreme, guys. Conversation update so you guys can see how it's going. Let me refresh the page for you just so you guys can see, of course, you know, it's all legit. So obviously you guys have seen up to that point. So obviously we said so about I can't like princess being down, blah, missionary, and then she said, what if I want to be on top when we make out? And then I was saying that you can flip me over and go on top. It's only if you're good on top. And she went, it's my favorite place to be. And I went, why is that? Do you ride well? She's kind of being a bit dry, but of course that's normal. You know, she is kind of talking about her sexual kinks. You got to bring it out in her, draw it out in her, which I'm doing now. And she said, can't say I have any complaints, but both I like to know. I said, eye contact is a must, because obviously she said I like normal. Obviously reverse cowgirl is always better because, you know, better view, innit? Well, it depends. It's everyone's preference, innit? So obviously, in that case, I told her what she wants to hear. That's the best advice I can give someone. Tell the girl what she wants to hear. Let's see what she says here. So obviously she is typing. I'm not going to, you know, pause the video or anything like that because she's replying, obviously. So let's see what she says here. Let's see if I can bring up the actual whole slutty side. This also proves that these conversations are not faked. This girl's literally typing. And also, you motherfuckers that say these girls are not real, bro, she's fucking photo verified. Purely with me being on top, I'd say 5 less 10 minutes. That's impressive. Anyway, so yeah, stop saying the fucking girls are not real. They're fucking photo verified. Even this one's photo verified. Every girl I talk to is photo verified pretty much, bro. Like, you know, if you want to say these girls are not real, you're a fucking idiot. You know, you have to be brain dead, genuinely. And the fact that I'm getting their numbers and I'm actually talking to them on WhatsApp is, you know, more than enough proof. So, yeah, like I said, shut the fuck up, bro. You know, you don't know what you're talking about. Oh, she's replying again. So good, I don't have to edit the video. Anyway, so yeah. She said, I'm sure I'll be able to take it. That's good, because so obviously some girls like being guided with your hands on their waist, while some girls also prefer to actually ride with you having no influence over them. So it's down to the person really, and obviously what they want. So it varies. Some girls prefer to have control, some girls prefer to be guided, some girls prefer for you to have control while they're on top. It completely depends on the girl. I'm guessing this girl is probably going to say, I want you to put hands on my waist, but I don't want you to, you know, rough guide me. I want to have a bit of control as well. Because she does seem like the type of girl that likes to have a little bit of control during sex. She doesn't seem like the kind of girl that's like, you know, manhandle me. But she gives me the vibes of, you know, I do also want a bit of control. Because, you know, as soon as I mentioned missionary, she went, yeah, I don't want to do missionary. I want to be on top. That's kind of shown me that she is also kind of seasoned. Okay, yeah, see, I literally told you guys. This is what I'm saying. I literally told you as I was explaining to you what she would say. She said, do both. Do both. Like, this is what I'm saying. I'm just a god. There's no skips, there's no jumps or edits in that. I literally predicted her reply. World class, bro. World fucking class. Anyway, so let her put your hands on her neck. You know, it's just wild, isn't it? So let's see what she says here. So, ... Please don't say neck, bro. I'm kind of worried she's going to say neck. She is kind of giving me the crazy vibes, isn't it? So, this is the one time I want my prediction to be wrong. In your hair, on your chest, or your hands, or behind me, on your legs. Yes! She's normal. If she said neck, I'm going to say, thank God you didn't say neck. God, she's replying, man. I want to go and get a drink, bro. Stop replying. Fuck's sakes, man. This is what I mean, bro. When I want the girl to reply, bro, she doesn't reply. I like to think so. Okay. So obviously I'm moving away from the topic of her being on top because that's boring, it's stale, it's gone dried out. I'm not going to lie, I want to change it now. I'm going to talk about picking her up and pinning her against the wall. And then after this, I will get her phone number. I'm done. I want to go to bed. So yeah, let's see what she says now. So I ended up getting the phone number. It is 11:46 a.m. She sent her phone number at around 1 a.m., which is quite the headache, I'll be honest with you. I was asleep, I fell asleep. I was recording the video around at 12:30 a.m., something like that. I don't remember. But the point is, this morning, I checked my conversation with her. She sent it, so we're going to text her on WhatsApp now, and we're going to go from there. As you can see, this is what the girl looks like, just for confirmation. I'm going to take her onto WhatsApp, and we'll go from here. So as you can see here, she's on WhatsApp right now. I'm conversing with her on WhatsApp. I just set this to her literally just now, so I'm not sure if I'll show you what she says to you. Obviously, this context and whatever she replies to you in this video, I can't be bothered. I'd rather go back to doing my other shenanigans, but maybe I will, maybe. So this is a conversation with that other girl called Izzy on obviously WhatsApp. I ended up speaking to her last night instead. I'll say, you know, she's okay. She's not that bad. I think she's Indian, so that's going to lose a few points. I'm kidding, guys. Anyway, so yeah, that's how that's going. I'm talking to her on WhatsApp right now. You know, I sent her the picture first trap, but I obviously hid it from you guys. I don't want you to see what the guy, But I'm hoping you enjoyed watching this. That's the end of the video. I'm not going to drag it out any longer. It's been way too long now, and it's literally carried over to the next day. I can't be bothered to do this. So I'm going to pretty much leave it at that, guys. I've managed to get this guy quite a few dates this week. It's currently Tuesday, and I have him, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, something like bloody 5 dates lined up for this week. I won't count the Chaz girl because they already met. That's different, so that's not the same case. But, you know, I've lined him up 5 dates in a week. I've done my job flawlessly and executed on what I would deliver. If you're not getting 3 to 5 dates a week, you are doing something wrong. There is a problem in your dating life. There is a constraint. Now, unless you don't have time to go on 3 to 5 dates a week, then of course that's different. But if you want 3 to 5 dates a week and you're not getting that many dates a week, you're doing something wrong, and it doesn't matter what you look like, because that is cope, okay? If you don't believe me, go watch my last video. I helped a guy that was 5'7". He was an Indian. He left an interview in the description as well. And I helped him score a solid amount of dates on a weekly basis. That will prove to you that looks doesn't matter and it's all cope and it's all in your head. Seriously, it is all in your head. Go check that video out. Let me know what you think. If you want to work with me, check out my website to become one of our portfolio Tinder accounts. Maybe if we are, you know, we work well together, we can partner up. If not, no problem. Keep watching videos, keep consuming the content, because I'm going to keep providing the best advice I can out there for you.